Hey everyone, this is Sam from Wargamer Online, and we have just received a absolutely awesome box from Spellcrow.com, and I just wanted to go through some of the bits that they've sent us. If you don't already know what Spellcrow does, they make a huge amount of weapons, armor, shoulder pads, loincloths, just loads of bits that you can use. I think it's specifically aimed towards Warhammer 40k. There's a lot of stuff like Space Knights, and they basically would work perfectly with Space Marines, and you've got stuff for Space Wolves, you've got stuff for Thousand Suns, all of the Chaos factions. There's just a whole load of bits, and I just wanted to show you what was available from them. So you can see already this box is absolutely jam-packed full of bits and pieces. Okay, so let's have a look at our first stuff. Anything in here that I don't go over exactly what the name is, I'll try and find out exactly what they are. But if there's something in particular you're after, just send me a message or leave it in the comment below, the comment box below. And I'll try and find the exact name and link for it and put it in the description as well. But there is a lot of bits in here, so I'm not going to do it with everything. So everything you get from Spellcrow comes in these really nice branded bags. The company's in Poland, and they just do a huge range of stuff. They're all made out of resin. So these, I think these are from their range called the Changed. Pretty much you would put these on like any sort of Thousand Sun model, or that's what I would be looking at using them for conversion wise. So these are called Changed Knight helmets. They're flat on the back of here, but they've got this really nice pattern on the front, so you can do your mixed colour. You could do your blue yellow, or you could use them for Horus Heresy Thousand Suns. You could even just use a pack of these, because a pack of these comes with 10 heads. And you might not want to use them on every single Marine, but definitely for sergeants or leaders of squads, these are definitely worth picking up. The other thing that we've been sent are some Changed Knight shoulder pads. And these are really detailed. They've got loads of bits of, there we go, like the eyes and the scarab sort of details that you would imagine would be on like Thousand Suns or any sort of Egyptian-based model. So you've got a nice scarab on here, the open wings on here as well, some nice Egyptian looking symbols on the shoulder pads, and it's all really good quality stuff as well. So in that pack you get 10 shoulder pads as well, 2 duplicates of each type. The other thing that we got sent was the Rhino Doors, and I'm not sure whether I would use this in Thousand Suns or just a generic Chaos army, but we've got these Rhino Doors here. Same level of high detail. You've got all these eyes just melded into the side of the armour, and you've got these claws, like tentacly looking arms with claws sticking out the end of them as well. And then we've got the back hatch to the Rhino Door as well. So this is the top in a very similar way. So really nice Rhino Doors there. Okay, next, now I was really excited to get some of these bits as well, because this is effectively Space Wolf, Space Marine bits. There's Khaleesi going crazy in the background. Thank you, Khaleesi. So some really nice torsos with some heads on there. They definitely would work in a Space Wolf army. I don't actually think there's any runes or anything on these, so you could fit them into any sort of Space Marine army. They've got some nice scroll parchment sort of thing on the front of the armor plate there, and on the back they'd work perfectly with Space Marines. You could just put a normal backpack on these, no problem at all. So that's the torsos and the heads. We also have these really nice detailed shoulder pads, so these are definitely going to be used in Space Wolf models that I'm going to be working on, and these have got loads of really nice ropes around the outside of the shoulder pads. They've got all these pendants and rune stones hanging off it with fangs, and they're all different as well. So on that entire sprue they're all different shoulder pads, and I just like there's the rabbit tails or wolf tails. There's a bullet on there as well, which is chained to the shoulder pad, and even on the background they've got different looking designs and frames that outline these shoulder pads. So they're really nice. They're quite bulky as well, and I think they look really nice on a Space Marine. And then we've got the other shoulder pads, and these are just incredible. These are my favourites. So there's the shoulder pad behind there, so they're going to attach as normal, but you've got this wolf head just coming over the top of the shoulder pad. So there's 4 of them, 2 for the left side, 2 for the right side, and then you've also got another one that we saw just from before, like one of these. So they're really nice shoulder pads. You can see on the inside how they work. You've got even the fangs from the the heads there that you could paint and the eyes, and they would stand out. I'm definitely only going to use these on characters or sergeant models. Next we've got some Space Wolf type frost weapons. On the website they're called Space Knights section, and if you go through that there's about 5 or 6 pages of Space Knights, and these are the Wolves section, so they're definitely intended to be used for that sort of thing. But these weapons are quite detailed. It looks like these are frost weapons. They look like they're made out of frost with like rope tied around them. They've got all of the gemstones embedded on the hilt of the weapon and on the actual blade itself, and you get a mixture of swords and axes. So inside here there's 3 axes and there's 3 swords. See, this one's got a rune on the blade, this one's got 2 runes on the top of, I don't know what that's called, pommel maybe? That's probably a made up word. So you've got 2 runes on there, and then this one's got 3 runes on the blade as well. Mixture of rope all over them. And then on the other side, same again. Really nice detailed weapons there. Definitely going to mix them around the sergeants. Not every single member of the squad's going to have a nice weapon. We've got 2 more bags worth of Space Wolf style bits. So this next one are legs, and these have got the typical sort of wolf pelts coming down from the waist area. You've got runes on the armour, runes on the knee pads, and the gemstones all over as well. So they're in different poses. You're not going to have the same standing pose, and there's 5 of those in that bag as well. So these are under the website. These are called Wolf Space Knight legs. So on their website as well, these are €7 for 5 of them. So depending on how that converts in your currency, wherever you're buying this from, they're not actually too bad either. They're a really good price for the quality that you're getting as well. Okay, and then the last bag we've got from the Wolves Space Knight section are these huge hammers, which I would definitely be using as thunder hammers. Just giant one-handed thunder hammers with runes, gemstones, and everything we've seen already on the wolf. There we go. There's even a rabbit tail on the back of that one. And then this one's like, I don't know whether that's like a bit of frost sticking out the top or a blade, but that's really nice. So that's all of the wolf stuff we've got there. So next up, now I don't know whether these are all from the same sort of section. They look, what I would use them for is like Templars, Knight Templars, Black Templar Crusades, sort of. With the Indomitus Crusade coming up for 8th edition, I'm very tempted to do a Black Templars army, especially using some of these bits. So these heads, these helmets, I've got the normal style sort of faceplate, but with like giant crosses on the front of there. There's like another cross on the top of his forehead on this bit. And over there, they're just really nice and detailed. They're not all in the same place, so you could mix this across the squad quite easily. And you'd probably want to mix it with, I'll show you the next one as well, because these are the helmeted heads. So you've got 5 different ones there. But what I would mix it with is bear heads and these hooded ones as well. So I'm not sure whether these are from the same section on the website, but these would definitely mix in. So you've got one here with a respirator. Quite chunky looking heads here. They definitely look like Space Marines. They couldn't pass as a human, I don't think. Well, it could. Just a really big jawed human. This one with the hood that's been like taken down halfway, so he's really cool. I'm not sure what that skull would be used for. Maybe put that on a vehicle or on a base. It's quite big. I don't think you could use it as a head. But there's 5 different heads here, and you get that duplicated twice. So 10 heads, and I would mix a unit up between those. The other option is using these heads for the scout equivalents in a Space Marine force, or I think they're called neophytes in Black Templars. So they're the heads from them. Next, we have torsos. Now these are really nice for even things like Dark Angels. If you want anything with the robes and the loincloths, these are the nice chest pieces that you can use for that. You get 10 in there. To be honest, it doesn't matter. There's 5 different variants, but with these sort of chest pieces you really don't even know, because you'd be angling your models at different positions, and they would all look different anyway. So there's 10 of those. On top of that, we got 10 more, but these are very much Black Templar based. So these have the Black Templar cross on them, the symbols. They've got the chains coming down the top with skulls on them, and this one's got like a little metallic dog tag type chain thing attached as well, so you could do some symbols on there. But same as before, you could mix these up in a unit, or you could keep these ones for the Marines, and then you could have these ones for the neophytes in the unit. To go alongside that as well, we've got some legs. So these legs pretty much go alongside these bodies, the torsos we just had a look at. So you could use these for Dark Angels, for Black Templars, or even just for Space Marine units. You could have a sergeant of a squad in the sort of robed outfit. So I'm very torn at the moment between doing Dark Angels or doing Black Templars for 8th edition. I think either one of those chapters could be a possibility, but I'm leaning more towards Black Templars just because it's black armour. We've also got some loincloths, so if you have Marines and you don't want to use the entire robed legs and torsos, you can use these loincloths. And these are just all decked out with different symbols. Now this one looks like something you'd see on a Dark Angel anyway. You've got these really nice looking, I don't even know what they're called. Somebody will be able to tell me what these things are called. I just imagine smoke pouring out of them. But I don't think they are a torch, they'll have a different name. So how many have we got on here? We've got 5, so we've got 10 of those tabards as well. Really nice. And I'm actually blown away with the quality on these, because I've bought a lot of Forge World in the past. I mean, even recently I bought a bunch of Wordbearer stuff, and I'm not sure whether they just do like the quality on these. There's next to no flash at all on them. This is literally as I've had them out the bag. Obviously there's some bits here on the bottom of these helmets where you just chop off as normal, but there's next to no flash to actually work on these. So they are very nice and clean models. It doesn't look like there's any release agent either. I'm still going to wash them before I use them because I wouldn't want the paint peeling off. However, they are just really, really good. So these again, part of this Templar range. You've got the hooded helmets, and you'd mix those up with the helmets and the hooded bear heads as well. But I think they're more towards Dark Angel Fallen equivalent heads. And then last for the Templar stuff, and I've used some of these heads before actually. I have some Grey Knights, or Rachel's Grey Knight army has got some heads which have helmeted with a hood. I'm not sure I got them from Spellcrow though, but these look very similar. Actually I prefer these. I think they would work better for Marines. The ones that I had were better for smaller models like Imperial Guard. Anyway, what was I doing? The final part. There we go. Huge shield, absolutely huge shield. Let's see if we can do a comparison. So I've got Strachan, Colonel Strachan, and you can see the size of the shield. It's pretty much the size of him. It's definitely aimed, I think, more towards Terminators. So if you're doing Horus Heresy and you want some Terminators with shields, I know Imperial Fists can definitely take them in the Horus Heresy. And I bought some Black Templar shields off Forge World and had to jimmy the arms to make them fit. But these are all left-handed shields, which I would definitely be using as storm shields. They do say Templar on the front of them here. However, I used them in my, because I had Sigismund in my 30k at Imperial Fists, so I wanted to try and start the Templars a little bit earlier, and I had this sort of iconography in my yellow armoured Marine force, so this sort of thing wouldn't be out of place. So that's all of the Templar stuff, really detailed. What have we got next? Okay, so these are, we're going on to the Chaos section of the box now. Chaos equivalent. So these are loincloths, same as we saw for the other Space Marines, but these look like they're made out of skin. Really nasty looking things, and to be honest, the size of these, you could even use them in other armies like Dark Eldar or even Dark Elves. Actually, if you're doing fantasy, these would work for that. Not necessarily just for Chaos Space Marines at all. So in that bag you've got 10 loincloths. Cool looking loincloths. Next we have, I think this is this is under the section of Pleasure Knight. Pleasure Legions. There we go, that's what they're called. Let's have a quick look. Effectively, I would be using these in a Slaneshi force. And we've got 10 shoulder pads here. With like speakers and very much like the noise marines, like this one's a giant skull with almost a speaker for the mouth. And then you've got here speakers all wired together around the shoulder pad. And you get 10 of those. I've just knocked one off. But 10 of those marines there, marine shoulder pads. Okay, so that's those. We have 10 chest pieces as well, torsos here. Same as the shoulder pads, loads of large sized torsos with speaker systems coming off them. You definitely could mix these up. One thing I really liked was the Forge World sonic weapons, the giant ones that the Cacophony use, and I would definitely be tempted to use the Cacophony weapons because they're big oversized heavy weapons with these torsos and some legs. Maybe even some of the robed legs from here, from the Templar stuff. I think these robed legs would be used on more than one army for me. So maybe a couple of those with some giant sonic weapons. And you know what, we have got some of those here, I think. Yes, here we go. So these aren't as big as the Cacophony weapons, but obviously that would be your heavy support option. But if you just wanted some, even if you wanted to change all your bolt guns to these, if you were doing an Emperor's Children army, these would definitely look a lot better. And that's even got detail like on just, I don't even know what that bit's called, but there's tiny bits of texture on there as well. Now these are Pleasure Knight heads. We've got 10 more inside here. I might have to zoom in actually just to get the detail on these because they are incredible. Wow, there we go, we can zoom in quite a bit there. So you can see some of these more fatter heads. Got this one with his tongue out, or tongue. I always pronounce tongue as tongue, and Mike always gives me grief for it. This one with a nose piercing and eyebrow piercings, and then you've got this one with his mouth sewn shut. So there's 10 of those heads. Next we have some arms. Now these, mix these up. Got 6 arms. You might not put, I mean you could do 2 arms per guy. That gives you enough for 3 different marines, but I would probably mix them up over a 10-man unit and have some of them with these claw arms. Very much like the demonette arms, but these are much bigger. So if you wanted to have demonettes in an army, but you also wanted some marines with this style arm, these are definitely the way to go. Giant crab claws. Okay, what else do we have? Now these look like Rhino Doors, but also with some framework. But I could be wrong actually. I need to check what these bits are for. Loads of skulls and bones, and yeah, it looks like you stick them onto some form of vehicle. I'll have to find out exactly what that's for. We also have some chainmail tabards. And I wish I had these for my Night Lord army. All of my Night Lords had chains and chainmail. There we go. Very nice looking chainmail there. And then last but certainly not least, so we've got this huge monstrosity of a character here. This is called a Plague Prince, and this one's quite a large model. Again, I'll get Strachan out because Strachan's our comparison today. There we go. So just the size of his torso is the size of Strachan. So this is definitely the equivalent of a Chaos Lord. In Terminator armour, you could probably get away with using this as Typhus. In fact, I would probably... he comes with a giant axe. So it's got a really nice plague encrusted axe here. And then on the other hand, he's got almost like a plasma pistol. I mean, that's the size of a plasma gun, so you could get away with him having a plasma gun and a giant axe, but I would be tempted to get some form of scythe, And I think from Spellcrow there is a set of weapons. Yeah, so on the on Spellcrow.com you can actually get, on the Plague Knight section, there's a set called the Plague Lord Conversion Kit, and you get a huge scythe in there. So I would definitely be tempted to get that alongside this and create my own Typhus or Typhon if you wanted to use it in 30k. And that's just such a huge character there. Oh, Strachan died. There we go, move him out of the way. Right, what else do we have marine-wise? Because we've got a few orcs, then we've got a tiny bit of scenery to go through as well, and some generic stuff. So these could be used in any of the Space Marine chapters or any sort of sci-fi game, but they're effectively melter guns. They could be bolt guns with a silencer on the end of it as well, or maybe even like some sort of grenade attachment on the bottom, but they're really nice. We've got 4 of those. I'm not sure if they come in a pack of 4 or more. Let's have a look. Yeah, so they're called combined melting guns. So you get 4 of those. And then we've also got these Blizzard missile launchers. And same again, I mean, when I was looking to do conversions for the Horus Heresy, I was doing, what were they called? Iron Warriors. There are some siege terminators, and you can give them all these shoulder-mounted missile launchers, and I couldn't find a decent place other than buying certain boxes and having to pay like £15 and then have 1 of these missile launchers. You can buy these off Spellcrow. It's €4 for 2 of these, and for one of those Siege Terminator squads you'd probably have between a 5 or a 10-man squad, so you'd probably buy 5 packs of these, but it's definitely cheaper than buying them from other sets just to get these out of them. And they're really nice and detailed, incredibly smooth finish on the top of those and all around them. Okay, what else do we have for generic Space Marines? Now we've got 2 types of jump packs here. These are more of the current Warhammer 40k jump packs. They've got a much wider, whatever these are called, exhausts. I'm going to butcher what these are all called, so somebody's going to have to put it in the comments and correct me what all of these things are called. Jet engine things, but they're definitely wider than the normal Warhammer 40k jump packs. So if you were doing a Legion like Raven Guard or even Blood Angels, anything that uses jump packs, and you wanted some special unit with these wider assault packs, these are definitely worth picking up. So there's 5 of those in there as well. And then the last of the assault packs, we have these, which are more like the Horus Heresy jump packs with the single jet engine and these 2 exhaust looking bits on the back of it. So that's what you're most likely to see in the Horus Heresy, this style of jump pack. So you get 5 of those. And I don't think Forge would sell these separately as well. You have to buy a full assault squad. So it's nice that you can just put some of these onto maybe the Betrayal at Calth or the Prospero Burns Marines, and that way you've got some cheap assault squad guys. I think I'll probably use these for a Destroyer squad, because I always use a Destroyer squad with jump packs, and there's 5 here. I can definitely do a small 5-man Space Wolf squad, mix up some of the kits in here. So that's all the Marine bits. Now the last section is going to be Orc pieces, Orc conversion bits. Now this is an Orc Doctor. Ooh, you can see I haven't opened this yet. So this is €11. There's bags inside the box, look at that. Once you've taken it out and you've still got bits. Really nice packaging, nice idea from Spellcrow there. This is a huge guy. Definitely be used as a pain boy. Got the nice gun here with the syringe coming off the top of the barrel. You've got this tank on the top of his gun. Really nice. I love these scissors just strapped to his back, and he's got like his apron which is all stitched together. More like a leather jacket though. And he's got his little tools around his waist, hacksaws and vials, and then he's got his huge power claw as well, which again has to have another syringe on it. And then he's got some sort of vials here as well, maybe that injects into him, make him all crazy and psycho. And then he's got his doctor's headband thing. And we're going to do the scale again, just to show you the difference between an Iron Hand Strachan and the Orc. So he's definitely hunched over. He's huge, absolutely huge in terms of the width of this guy, as an Orc should be. And he's definitely hunched over. If you look at the size of his arm is the size of Strachan. So massive arms. Look at that. So nice and hunched over orc there. Comes with a base. I think that's 40 mil. Pretty sure that's a 40 mil base. It's definitely a big one. Actually, you know what? This isn't the. If that's the Orc Doctor. 4 elements. Yeah, it does say that. But that says a 25 mil round base. But that is definitely not a 25. That's a 25 mil round base with a skink. So it's definitely bigger than a 25 mil round base. Next, we've got some guns here. And I'm not too knowledgeable on my orc units, so I wouldn't know what you could use these as in an orc army. Obviously the bits here you could use for just conversion bits anyway. Let's have a look, see what they're called. Right, so these are orc hands with revolvers. So this is €8. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's enough for 6 models, but you've got 3 which are going to be the same, duplicated over. But you've also got 2 heads on here as well, which I didn't think were in the set that you can buy online. You'd have to double check the website, but I can't remember seeing these heads on the sprues. Maybe they're an extra bit. And you've got 2 skulls here with bullet holes through them as well. But I really like these, and especially with the changes coming for 8th edition, anything with pistols is definitely going to be a bonus. And for something like orcs, which you want to get in combat, with the new rules, pistols you can still use in combat, so it's perfect to pick up some of these. Get as many orcs with pistols as you can. Right, what else do we have? Let's do some more weapons before we go on to the head. So these are the Orc Mechanical Claws. I think you get 6 claws in here. And we all know that, I mean even me, with my limited orc knowledge, anything with a claw is better than not having a claw. With the changes in 8th edition again, if you get the charge, you get the initiative. So you're going to be striking first, and having power claws was always obviously a risk because these were attacking last. But now, as long as you get the charge, you're going to be attacking first. Now this is the first kit where I've seen that you might need to do a little bit of cleaning, and it's not even on all of it. There's 1 claw there which you probably want to run your blade down just to get a sharp finish. Only on that bit there. Other than that, really nice power claws. Same again, we've got 2 heads, so maybe they do come with the kits. 2 heads with bionic eyes. You could easily use these as the orc knobs. And I thought you were smoking a cigar, but I think it's just a mangled tooth. Paint it up as a mangled tooth or a cigar. You know what, I think it is a cigar. Yeah, it is. So you've got an orc with a bionic eye and a cigar. What's not to like? So they're the claws. Now, we also have some Orc Bodies here. So these are Orc Bodies with bionic implants, if you're wanting to try and find the name for them. Really nice details. I've definitely seen some commandos that you could use these as. I don't know how sneaky that would be actually, so commandos is probably a bad idea, but I love how like each one of these, this guy's got 1 bionic leg, 1 non-bionic, this one's got 2 bionic legs, and this one's only got 1, but it's the opposite side. They've got bits of their torso and chest area which have been replaced with bionical parts, and even the heads, like this one's got half a mechanical face and half a fleshy face. And I really like these heads. So there's enough there to do 3 models, and you can easily combine this with the claws that we looked at a second ago. So you just stick that on there. Have these huge hulking orc knobs in bionical, with bionical bits. Ooh, dropped him. We've also got some, I don't know if they're dice, if they were looking at casting dice. But the bottom of the sprue's definitely got some dice on it. Not worth rolling on though, check that out. But that's different from your normal sprue. Okay, and the last part we have from the orcs are some heads. So these are Blitzkrieg orc heads in goggles. Again, €8. You're getting a full bag here of 10 heads. So let's have a look at these. It looks like they are 2 sprues, 2 duplicate sprues. So it seems like with a lot of Spellcrow kits, they've pretty much done 5 variants of each head for each chapter or each army type, and then they duplicate it twice, so you've got 10 heads. Especially like this one, like a commissar style orc head. The helmets with the goggles over the top of them. And this guy looks too cool for school. He's definitely got a cigar. Smoking's bad though, you don't want to do that. Turn that around. So they definitely fit like a normal orc head, because they've all got the hunched shoulders and back and the neck, which attaches onto there. So 10 of those. Really cool. Right, and then the last section we're going to have a look at. Now this is the scenery bit. We've got these which are called the Necrolith objective counters. So they also sell counters for various armies. You've got things that could be used for Eldar, they're called Space Elves. You've got human style objectives, you've got Tau style objectives. These ones are the Necron ones. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So these are €8 and you get 6 objectives, which is currently what you need in 8th edition and 7th edition. We don't know what 8th edition is going to do, but I imagine you're still going to need objectives. So these are really nice. You could always make your own custom bases, but these are just really nice. And you could easily just, if you needed numbers, you could write a number on the side of these. They've definitely got the room for it. Very detailed stone monolith style things with the Necron symbols on them as well. So we've got 6 of those. Unfortunately, I don't think any of us play Necrons. Actually, you know what? Dave plays Necrons. We could definitely use those. And then finally, we've got these again in the nice plastic packaging so that these don't get damaged. We've got 2 types of floor. So these are €3 for a floor. Now, initially I was thinking Warhammer Quest, because these tiles would be good. I don't know if eventually they're going to do bigger tiles. These are 75mm by 75, so they're not huge. They're not big enough to use in Warhammer Quest, but potentially you could put multiple ones together. I think I would use these as diorama bases, or maybe chop into it and use it as some sort of scenic base. You could use multiple parts of this. You can always get rollers, so if you want to do huge sections you can get rollers, but obviously that costs a fair bit with green stuff and having to buy the roller as well. So it depends which way you want to go and how much of a project you've got to do. However, if you've got a small project or a diorama and you just need a bit of a scenic base, you've got these as an option. So this one's the stone floor. Very detailed, no flash to remove, absolutely brilliant. Again, I'd still wash it just before using it. And then we've got this one here, which is just called Pavement. So this is €2.99, €3 again. Same measurement, 75 by 75, but this is more of your brick style street pavement. So you could use that as some sort of fantasy flooring or Age of Sigmar, or even I think we'd probably use it for some sort of Warhammer Quest models. I might even see if I can break this off and use it on my Warhammer Quest bases. Obviously they're all going to be circular, so I don't know how well that's going to work. So we'll see. So that's everything that Spellcrow sent to us. It's really nice to receive a box from them, absolutely brimming with little resin bits that we can use on all sorts of conversion projects. And it was nice to show them off to everybody. So if it's something you'd be interested in, definitely go over to spellcrow.com. Check out what sort of bits they've got available that you could use in your own armies, and post it up on our Facebook page and let us know what you've used, or if you've used any in the past, it would be good to know as well. So there's definitely going to be more videos from conversions that we're going to do in the future, and we'll put them up as soon as we use them. We're obviously going to pop it in the description, all of the stuff that we can, so that you can get easy links over to find out which part you were interested in. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and if you're not already subscribed, it would be really appreciated if you subscribe to the channel as well, because we've got a lot more of this to come. So thank you all for watching, I hope it helps, and we'll see you all on future videos.